Over the past 6 or 7 months, a significant story has engulfed not only Australian sports media, but global sports media in a tale of dreams, underdogs, and triumphs. I'm talking, of course, about Jarryd Hayne in the NFL. If you haven't heard a single thing about this story, then you've probably been living under a rock. There were times where no matter where you looked, no matter where you turned, something related to Jarryd Hayne would smack you in the face. Jarryd's story into the NFL follows a standard storytelling structure, as shown by this graph. His journey has gone through many phases to reach this point. It all began when he announced his shock retirement from the NRL to play in the NFL.
Eel star Jarryd Hayne has quit the code and the club as he now pursues a dream to play NFL in the United States.
A few months of phone calls, meetings and deals later, and Jarryd announced who he would be signing with and hopefully playing for in the upcoming season.
In 2015, I'm going to be a San Francisco 49er.
What we witness here is the exposition of Jarryd's story, introduced to him as an NFL footballer, his team, his coach, the organisation he'll be representing, and the beginning of his journey to the NFL regular season. While the Australian media exploded over these exciting developments, the US media was slightly more hesitant at Hayne's arrival.
Do you think a guy who's never played a single snap of football at any level at 27 can suddenly come in and make a roster?
No. I don't know what position he would play. I mean, great athletes, there are great athletes littered across the planet. That's different than being a great football player. And to be a great football player, you have to practice football.
Thing to have all that size and have all that speed, but if I don't know where I'm going, if I'm a step or two slow, then you're the guy that gets released or cut.
Now we've reached the conflict phase, a differing of opinions from opposing forces, trying to get the audience to believe that our hero will either fail or succeed in his venture to his dream. Now, as the opposing forwards continue to bicker over whether he has a shot or not, Hayne is getting it done in training camp and on the field during the NFL preseason. Here we have reached the phase of rising action. Now, to his credit, Hayne made some great plays in the preseason.
Either he makes the 49ers or he plays for somebody else, because nobody's watching this and saying, I don't know about him now, I'm still not sure.
Commentators and media personnel alike went bananas over our homegrown superstar. He made an impact and silenced his haters by going into the NFL regular season by officially making it into the 53-man roster for the San Francisco 49ers. Now here is where our climax has been reached. Jarryd has been successful in achieving his dream to play in the NFL, and it only took a few short months, instead of the 95% of NFL players who have played football their entire life and even through college at an elite level. Fox Sports Australia's Facebook page has gone into frenzy mode almost every time Hayne does something. On game day for Hayne and the 49ers, Fox Sports Australia posted 7 Hayne-related stories in 7 hours. 1 story for every hour. Unless Hayne is the most interesting man in the world, no new information would come out between 1 and 2 p.m. on a Sunday. Australian sports reporter and panellist for Fox Sports Australia's Backpage Live, James Hooper, had nothing but praise for the still very young superstar, stating that he believes that what Hayne has achieved in such a short amount of time is up there in the history of Australian sporting success stories, alongside Kathy Freeman and Sir Donald Bradman.
Pump your brakes, kid. That man's a national treasure.
Come on, Hoops. I know you're excited over Jarryd Hayne playing in the NFL, but seriously, he's only played preseason football for a team that's currently in a rebuilding phase, and frankly is willing to try anything to either get attention or back to the top. I've followed NFL for close to 15 years now, and I've seen many Australians play in the NFL. Sure, most of them are punters and have an AFL background, and one is rightly named the Monster in Jesse Williams. But let's be fair. Is this the same level of accomplishment as either Freeman or Bradman? I won't get into that. It's another discussion entirely. For now, let's get back on topic. I believe that putting Hayne up there with Freeman and Bradman maybe put a jinx on Hayne before he could even actually prove himself.
Flock's punt is coming, one of the great stories of the preseason. Jarryd Hayne, rugby player for the Niners, diving and catching and fumbling. Oh, here's a story we got to tell you. That punt was shorter than he anticipated. When you play rugby, this is what you do. You catch the ball. And one of the great stories of the preseason, he made a big mark. And his first touch in the NFL is a fumble.
This is a crazy game because if you go all through training camp, Jarryd Hayne, the thing that everybody said about him because of his rugby background, is so comfortable catching the punts, whether it's open space, people around him, but that ball ate him up.
Oh no! Jarryd! Has Icarus flown too close to the sun again? Is Hayne not the chosen one Morpheus told us about? Oh, how could it all go so horribly wrong in such a short amount of time? Here, sadly, is where we've reached our falling action phase. Jarryd has been thrown into the fiery pits of the regular season football, playing against some of the best athletes in the world. And he's, I guess, maybe you could say, choked? Now, on the positive side, we still have the resolution phase to come. The NFL season is 16 games long, and Hayne has only played 4. So in the coming weeks and months, Hayne still has a chance to prove himself. But on a team that is currently struggling to not trip over its own feet, it could be a big ask for the rookie.